Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Ford is a marketing genius, there's no question in my mind. However, is the 2019 Private Blend Tuscan Leather Intense better than its predecessor? Guys, are you ready for this one? Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fragrance review. My name is Max Forti. If it's your first time landing on this page, be sure to show your support. If you guys like to smell great and you love to make a great first impression, this is definitely the right place to do that. Today we're going to be looking at the newest from the Tom Ford Private Blend, simply called Tom Ford Tuscan Leather Intense. Now, I have been following the Tom Ford Private Blends collection since its inception in 2007. Tuscan Leather is one of the earlier releases that I truly love. After that, we have Ombre Leather 16, then we had Ombre Leather, and now finally this Tuscan Leather Intense in 2019 with the metal plate. This stuff here is going to run you $330 for a 50 ml like this with the metal plate, or you can get the size above, the 250 ml flat cone. That's going to run you guys $860. I do love the presentation. Tom Ford is second to none when it comes to upscale, high-end designer, quote-unquote niche quality fragrances. The Private Blend is absolutely unrivaled. Now the question of the day here is Tuscan Leather Intense a more intense version of the already well acclaimed and received by the fragrance community Tuscan Leather? That's yet to be seen, guys. Is this really worth $100 extra for a 50 ml like this in your collection? If you already own Ombre Leather 16, Ombre Leather, or the original Tuscan Leather? So before I answer that, let me tell you guys, what do I get from Tuscan Leather Intense? So the fragrance opens up with an amplified, earthy kind of a feel that you get here. The leather undertone is definitely going to be rougher in the beginning, and the fruity nuance that you get with the raspberry that you get with the original is definitely going to come through, but later on the composition as you get into the dry down. There's definitely an animalic tinge to this fragrance, but it's never overbearing or in your face animalic, turn your head type of scent, or turn your nose type of leather, or animalic undertone for that matter. It is a very supple and suede leather as you get into the heart and into the dry down. The raspberry will definitely play a role here. I don't think this is as fruity as the original Tuscan Leather, but you definitely get the same kind of scent character and profile. To be honest with you, on my skin, this particular fragrance turns a little smokier than the other leather compositions from Tom Ford. So if you want a smokier, earthier version of Tuscan Leather, this is definitely one that you should consider trying. So when comparing this fragrance to the other leather fragrances, which I do own side by side, I would say that Ombre Leather, from the designer side of things, the regular Tom Ford line, is definitely going to be the more affordable one, of course, and definitely the smoother and easier one to wear. The Intense version is going to be definitely smokier, and the Ombre Leather 16 is going to be very similar to the Ombre Leather 2018. So, when you compare those two, it's kind of like the same thing. They're all very similar. They could be brothers or cousins. It's all in the same family. When I compare the Intense with the original Tuscan Leather, I definitely think the original Tuscan Leather is going to be fruitier with that raspberry note amped up, as the Intense will give you a definitely smokier and earthier kind of undertones. So if you like smokier, heavier, darker leathers, I definitely go with this one. If you put all four of them on a test strip and give it to random people to smell, it's going to be very, very similar. I think, again, it's very minute. The difference is you have to have an acute nose, you have to have a seasoned nose to really pick up these differences. Because of the price point, $330 for a 50 ml, is it really worth it? Performance wise, this is actually definitely above average. It was really strong, especially in the beginning. The first couple hours, it's going to push real heavy. You don't need more than 2 to 3 sprays. So performance was never an issue here. As far as projection, it's going to push very strong arm's length for at least 2 hours. And it's going to give an amazing scent trail and sillage. So performance not an issue here. As far as season goes, in my opinion, for what I like to wear, heavy leather scents, this is definitely going to fall into the fall, autumn, and winter category for me, rotation wise. So as the weather gets colder out there, especially if you experience heavy weather changes like we do here where I'm at in New York, this is definitely going to be one that I'm going to be looking forward to wearing when the weather gets cold out. Ages, I think this is definitely a more mature scent, somebody with a seasoned nose to really appreciate these type of fragrances. And as far as male, female, this is definitely androgynous. I think anybody that enjoys heavy, smoky leather fragrances will definitely love this one. As far as occasions and settings for Tuscan Leather Intense, because of the price point and the scent profile, I think this is definitely great for evening wear or dressier occasions. I think is where this is going to shine the most. My final thoughts on Tuscan Leather Intense. I'd love to come here and say, guys, this is mind-blowing. It's amazing. It really takes the original one to the next level. I can't really say that. I think I'm definitely not overly impressed with this one. It is a little heavier, a little smokier. However, it is very, very close to other leather fragrances from the Tom Ford line. This is a little bit left to be desired when it comes to the actual scent itself. Performance was actually good. Perhaps I get maybe an hour longer projection with this one than I get with the original Tuscan Leather. But is it enough to warrant $100 difference when you compare retail price between the two? That's for you guys to decide. I have to tell you guys, when it comes to a leather scent from Tom Ford, there are other alternatives. You know, Godolphin from Parfums de Marly is a great one. There's a ton of alternatives for this particular scent profile. And even within the Tom Ford line, I think when you compare mil per mil, you know, the price point, the performance, the scent profile itself, I think Ombre Leather that was released last year is definitely a safe bet and your best bang for your buck, your best alternative when comparing to Tuscan Leather Intense. Those are my thoughts on Tuscan Leather Intense. Let me know if you guys have gotten your noses on this one, and you know, perhaps all the different Tom Ford leather fragrances that you have tried. Which one is your favorite? I said Umber Leather as far as the price point, performance, and the scent character. I think it's definitely my favorite. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Let's start a little Tom Ford Tuscan Leather conversation. Ladies and gents, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. In the meantime, remember, fragrance is emotion in motion. So wear what truly moves you. I'll catch you guys real soon.